Since Disney's Freaky Friday was just such a fun-filled film, the original classic from 1976, and then the 2003 remake, which was even good. But even after we got the original and before the remake, we got one made-for-TV film. And even before we get the new one, Freakier Friday, we got another Freaky Friday, but based on the musical. And I'm going to talk about these two in a back-to-back review right now. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome again to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Duel, better known to you as the Big D, and this time around, I'm going to be doing a back-to-back pair of reviews. And it's going to be on Freaky Friday again, but only this time it's going to be focusing on the two made-for-TV films. Now, one thing I failed to point out after I re-reviewed the original from 1976, there was actually two direct-to-TV specials that aired based on the follow-up to Freaky Friday. There was Summer Switch and Millions, or well, Billions for Boris, which both came out in 1984. But anyway, this is what I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to be talking about two more Freaky Friday films. Both of these were made for TV. So if you're ready, let's get into these. And I'm going to try not to give the whole story away because I want to try and make this short and sweet if I can. So be on your toes because here we go with the first one. First off is the first made for TV film, which originally premiered on ABC in May of 1995. Now, of course, the film focuses on the fun loving Annabelle Andrews and her uptight mother, Ellen, who have a hard time getting along with each other. One Friday the 13th, they both wear magical necklaces that make them switch bodies for the day. And well, they kind of get into a predicament, especially when Annabelle has to do a little something for her swim team at school. Anyway, now I've seen this film like a few times. 3 times if I'm not mistaken, but yeah. I am gonna say that this is, I think, probably the weakest of the Freaky Friday films in my book, but don't take my word for it. Please stand by. Okay. Now, apparently, Ellen's boyfriend named Bill, well, drives both Ellen and Annabelle to work, and where Ellen has to present a new clothing line, but she initially worried about the fact that she has no idea of what to do and goes along with it anyway. But anyway, Annabelle has an awkward day at school with her friends and learns what her daughter's life is really like and what have you. Well, they really get into this. Anyway, now there's changes from the original. The version of the story has diving instead of water skiing as Annabelle's main hobby, which again plays a big role in the film's climax. Also in the original film and the book, which was written by Mary Rogers, Ellen and Bill are married, and Bill is Annabelle's father, whereas in this adaptation, Ellen is a single mother and Bill is her new sweetheart. It also reveals how they switched bodies. Anyway, now then. The film made its premiere on The Wonderful World of Disney, as this was one of a few of the remakes to come during this season. The others include The Shaggy Dog, The Computer Wore Tennis Shoes, and Escape to Witch Mountain. Unfortunately, when this came out, well, critics and even viewers were not impressed with this. And, well, again, I say this kind of feels like it's the weakest of the than of the franchise, but I still think it's okay and what have you. Maybe not great though. The film was, let's see, directed by Melanie Mayron, with music by James McVeigh and Lisa Harlow Stark. Well, it does have a pretty good cast though. That includes Shelley Long, who had actually played Carol Brady in the Brady Bunch movie that same year. She also has done other films and TV shows. Playing Annabelle is Gaby Hoffman, who, of course, had recently done films like The Man Without a Face, Uncle Buck, and Sleepless in Seattle. She later went on to appear in other films like Now and Then, which I'm checking, which came out after doing Freaky Friday, as well as Volcano and many others. Kaylee Adams plays, let's see, Dana Dinky Barb. Sandra Bernard, who I know that name, plays Frida Debney, a woman whom Ellen and Bill has to show off some of their clothing to. Bill is played by Alan Rosenberg, who most people would remember him from Civil Wars and LA Law. And he's not too bad. Eileen Brennan played Principal Handel. Carol Kane played Leanne Futterman. And playing the character of Stan Horner is, believe it or not, Drew Carey, whom later that same year would get his own show on ABC that ran for 9 big seasons. Yes, long before he became the host of The Price is Right. So, this remake of Freaky Friday, well, I'll say it's okay and what have you, but maybe not the best though, but it's an okay film. This film is on physical media, but it's very tough to find, and it's unfortunately not on Disney Plus, but you can find the full movie on YouTube. You could probably find it on other places that might have this film taped from whatever. So I would say you could give it a one-time watch or avoid it. Okay, good. This Freaky Friday, I feel like it's my least favorite, but this one's a little bit of a step up. Here's the next film. All right, now the next film is Freaky Friday that originally premiered on Disney Channel in in 2018. It actually premiered on August 10th, 2018. It's based on both the book and the 2016 stage adaptation of the film, which I was completely unaware that this was they have musical. The fourth film installment of the franchise, but counting the two specials that came in after the original, it would be the sixth overall, if I'm not mistaken. No, wait. Yeah, this would be the sixth one. And it was directed by Steve Carr, who, of course, was a music video director and also had directed films including Dr. Dolittle 2, Daddy Daycare, Rebound, and Paul Blart Mall Cop. Now this film is just kind of differently. It starts off with Ellie, who is our main girl, and her two friends Carl and Monica, who are discussing an annual school-wide scavenger hunt, whereas her brother, Ellie's brother Fletcher, comes in and does a magic trick, but she's unimpressed. Fletcher steals an hourglass that Ellie's late father had given to her. Meanwhile, Catherine Blake is preparing for her impending wedding to her fiance, Mike. Catherine wishes that Ellie would take more responsibility for herself, while Ellie wishes her mother would understand what it is like to be her. When Catherine follows Ellie to her room, they fight over the hourglass and switch bodies. They must find the identical hourglass given to Catherine, but Catherine sold hers. Catherine goes to Ellie's school and Ellie stays at the house. Yeah, the bulk of the film deals with the comic fallout resulting from the body switching. Catherine, as Ellie, deals with bullying from Mean Girl Savannah and commiserates with Ellie's crush, Adam, while Ellie, as Catherine, does her best to prepare for the wedding. At the same time, they discover that the missing hourglass has been purchased as an item for the school scavenger hunt. Now then, that's all the story I will give to you. You may want to watch this film. Now, unfortunately, this isn't on physical media, but it is on Disney Plus, so that's a good way to check it out. I couldn't find much reviews for the 95 film, but this one, yes. IndieWire rated this an A minus, saying, in the case of Disney Channel's latest adaptation, dusting off Freaky Friday to reimagine it as a full-blown Broadway inflected musical is more than worth the effort thanks to its talented cast, infectious songs, and lively musical numbers. And Common Sense Media rated the film 4 stars out of 5, indicating musical reboots heartwarming themes are great for families. Well, I will say it's pretty good and what that it's decent and what have you. Film didn't quite do so hot. It became the lowest rated Disney Channel original movie premiere of the last decade until the Kim Possible movie premiered the following year. Oh well, I still thought it was pretty decent and what have you, and I will appreciate for having some good music and what have you. Now, this was a collaboration between Disney Channel and Bad Angels Productions, who had recently worked with them on the first 2 installments of the Descendants franchise, and they would work on the third franchise the following year. So I will give them credit for them, what have you. Now then, now, the cast, most of them, I'm afraid I'm not quite too familiar with a lot of these. But anyway, playing Ellie is Cozi Zuehlsdorff, excuse me, who had recently appeared as Hazel Haskett in Dolphin Tale and its sequel, Dolphin Tale 2. And she's also a singer. She had put out some music and what have you. Oh yeah, she also had recently appeared in Pure Country, Pure Heart, which was a direct, well, one of the few direct sequels to the great film known as Pure Country. Yeah, she's fine. Playing Catherine is Heidi Blickenstaff, who actually played Catherine in the actual music, well, the actual stage version of this. Now I'm going to say, not too bad. Jason Maybaum played Fletcher. He wasn't too bad. Alex Desert played Mike Harper. Pretty good. Dara Renee played Savannah. Isaiah Leitinen as Carl. And Jeffrey Laporte as Monica. Yeah, they're not too bad. I will say the cast is pretty decent enough. The musical numbers are pretty good and what have you, with music done by Tom Kidd, Brian Yorkie, and David Lawrence. So overall, I'm gonna say Freaky Friday from 2018. I think it's a little more decent and what have you. Well, maybe not decent, but I feel like it's a nice little adaptation. If I had known this was a musical just before this, I would have watched this sooner, and I didn't. But anywho, at least it feels like I'm seeing the others all over again, but in a different way, with an hourglass. So I'd say I'd recommend you give this Freaky Friday a shot, a one-time watch that is. So that's going to do it for this. What did you think of these two Freaky Friday films? Have you seen the 1995 film or the 2018 film? Or have you seen them both? If so, let me know in the comments section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Continue to help support my channel, make it grow, and make the views grow, and you know the rest. Join me next time when I bring to you a review of Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Looking forward to doing that. So if you like this, check out my reviews for these other two Freaky Fridays. The upper left-hand corner is my re-review of the original from 1976. The upper right-hand corner is my review of the 2003 remake, which I'm looking forward to its sequel, Freakier Friday, opening this weekend, or go to the bottom left hand corner and see my review of one of the films I had recently reviewed from the director of the 2018 Freaky Friday, Steve Carr, in the form of Rebound with Martin Lawrence from 2005. And the bottom right hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe if you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc. Then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.